Hello internet, that geek redhead here. Welcome to video 7 of 7, that's right, the final video of this Tigatron cosplay build. It's been a long time coming, 2 years in the making, on and off, because I have procrastination issues and also a full-time job. If you would like to skip ahead to see the final results, you can figure that out by yourself. This video will cover all of the final steps, you know, the final touches, the bits that I had put off building because they looked difficult or they were just small and fiddly. Yeah. I'm not going to beat around the bush any longer, let's just get straight into it. The pieces that have been built have been covered, but there is one piece that I have neglected to make because it sounded complicated, and that's the back piece with the bits that turned out to be one piece. Hooray! So what I'm doing is attempting to create a half template so that I can make it one piece. Now, one thing I have to consider is those things. And use this as the thumbnail. I'm going to attempt to get two pieces out of this because that bit is long enough to go around at the very least, and there's almost enough scrappage to do the top bit. Ta-da! The last scraps. That's what he's saying. Ow! What the hell? I am such a nincompoop. I can angle them out, obviously. I'll come back to this in a day or two. Quick update on other bits that need completing. Has been edged with wire so that I can manipulate its shape and it'll hold its position. So this side is going to be fur and the other side is going to be green, which I'm kind of regretting because this is a very large surface area. Just look at my hand. I could, you know, take the coward's way out and say, oh, this is white, but my perfectionist brain won't let me. And I can't do anything just yet because I am hemmed in. You're a good boy, aren't you? Making me take breaks regularly. Yes. I need to cut slits here for putting the handles through. Did I mention that my sister helped me figure this shape out because I couldn't do it myself? So yeah, what ended up happening there was I ended up cutting a hole in there so that I could clip it through, and then it should just be a simple matter of putting it on and plonk like that, so I didn't have to do any cutting. Meow. There he is. Meow. Oh, please don't put your claws in it. Come here. Alright, anyway. Now I do the flip side. I'll tape that over. And then I should probably paint it first before I add the fur. I am so irritated with myself. Now, I should have known better. I should have checked the reference material. So I made the piece and I'm looking at it going, oh god, it's going to take so long to paint. And it did. It didn't need painting. It didn't need to be green. Now, I could just say F it and leave it, but I can't. It's clearly not green on him. Which means I'm going to have to take it off and start it again. I'm going to try and save as much of like in one piece as I can, just in case I do need some green, but I have no commentary apart from, I wish I had just checked the stupid reference pictures, but bleh. Anywho, next thing I'll do is I'll design where the stripes are going to go. Good enough. This is all striped up. I just need to cut around and then like properly glue the edges because there is still that issue. But yeah. Ready to start cooking very soon. Which way around is it? Is this way? Yes? Yes? Yes. Yes. There we go. I still don't like that it doesn't have stripes at the top. Oh well, I'll decide if I want to add anything later. I think I'm ready to start painting the helmet. It's the most recognizable bit of Tigatron, and it's making me so like scared to cock it up. I think I'm gonna do it. There's still lots to do, but I'm making strides. Yeah, let's do this. I need to get over myself and just do this. It's so scary. It needs to be done eventually. But I think the reality is just sinking in, you know? Bugger it. Oh, that was tedious. But worth it. Voila. So all of the green is now as smooth as I am willing to make it. There's still like if you look really closely, like a little blotchy, but I can't tell if that's paint layers or just a bad sanding job. I don't care anymore. Yes, he does sound miserable. He doesn't like being picked up, but that's just too bad, isn't it? Maybe I shall take off the masking tape, because he looks like mutant Tigatron at the moment. The colours just don't mesh. Every time I look at it, it looks wrong, and I know I want it to look right. That looks more like him. I feared this might happen, but I was in denial. I always struggle with this. Despite being a 3D object, it looks flat. So I'm going to have to do some shading. I'm no good at that. Which means I'll have to tape this up again. It wasn't as obvious with the tape on. Then I'll add his little moustache and those stripy things on the side. Yeah, I definitely do need to do something here because it's quite rough, but that's fine. I've got some good old-fashioned spray paint for that, because I don't want to go over any more big areas with the airbrush. Isn't he looking good? admit. I'm glad I did the shading because it does make them pop, despite being 3D objects. I've still got to finish everything, as in add finish. So yeah, they are looking they're looking really good. So I'm very pleased. I've added his little tash. I think he looks great. What do you think? Okay, moving on to another bit I've been putting off. It says the hot pants, essentially. The tiger print hot pants. I have bought a cheap pair of leggings. And by cheap, I mean really cheap. They're so thin, they are A, cold, and B, look like I've just painted my legs white. They're so thin. The plan is to take them apart and trace the pattern with some tiger material. And then, yeah, sew them back together. So I've got the base of the hot pants. Hot pants, I hate saying that, so American. No offence, but you're wrong. They're trousers. Anyway, wish me luck. Shorts are done. They're not great, but they'll do. I need to map out where the stripes are going now. I'm going to try and make it as show accurate as possible, but so I thought I'd filmed this, but apparently not. The shorts are done. They look ridiculous, so I'm not going to show you them on because out of context I just look like a stripy yeti. I have attached whatever these things are. On reflection they are a bit big, but I was not doing them again, so yeah. He's so close to... It's very exciting. Can't wait to do the final touches. A right-handed person have to do that here. I don't like my chances, but I'll give it a go. Gauntlets are nearly done. Deciding whether or not I can be bothered to reprint the thumbs. They're just a bit too wide, but they might look okay on. I haven't tried putting them both on. And obviously the fingertips are... Should we give this a go? This may have been overkill. In fact, I'm almost certain that it is. Alright. Moment of truth. There we go. I'm not bothering with the underside because I need to hold things. These are actually really smooth. Second moment of truth. Taking them off. Okay, I'm going to leave those to dry properly for several days. I'm also going to bring just a pair of white gloves as spare, because that will do in a pinch if my hands can't cope with the gauntlets. And from a distance it'll be fine. what I have done here is create a little wedge, because these pieces cut, well, I was going to just do that, but then I realised there was a slight angle, so I'm hoping that I can get that slight angle by using said wedge, but I've not done anything like this before, but oh well, wish me luck. I've just had a genius idea. Since I'm kind of doing it with my finger anyway, I'm going to get a pin, put that in there, and then I can just rotate it. Ah, clever, clever. Ankle pieces. I was about to go la 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 willy-nilly, just start to paint them, before I realised, oh wait, I need a way to actually attach them to the legs. So my thinking is I've left a little bit of extra material on just for a bit of leeway, and I'm going to use these big old poppers. Now usually I don't trust these, but that's for uppy downy, but these are going to be lateral, whatever. Either way, it's easier to take them apart like this than it is like this. It's the same with Velcro, I think. So that's what I'm going to use. One, maybe two, but the beauty of it is these things, which won't have the stuff around them, will be able to hide them quite nicely, and then it'll be seamless. So yes, that's what I will do. This is my drying setup. Looks a little bit like I'm building a super collider of some description, but there we are. Tried to keep the curve intact, although I suspect in the grand scheme of things it won't matter. Let's see how well this worked, if at all. Feels alright. Could have made it shorter. I could find a way, I suppose, to tuck these properly behind here, like maybe with some more clips, but other than that, it's alright. Difficult to tighten. I didn't really consider that, but oh well. Catwalk. These bits are going to be covered with a bit more spandex because they just look rough and feel rough, frankly. I don't want them scratching against the fur that will be here. So, yeah. I've just made two more of these for the knees, so while that bit is drying, let me tell you my plan. So these are to go on the outside of the joints, and the corresponding circular bits will be attached to either side, and then on the inside I'm going to attach some elastic so that it can, you know, fit snugly and kind of stay on me, and I'm hoping this will work. It's fingers crossed, and let's just see. Of completely nothing, because I just completely forgot to comment on this part of the build, but I 3D printed and stuck these bits on, as well as to the band. I'll put the progress video somewhere of how I 3D modelled them. Wasn't a huge deal, but, and this is only kind of, it's not really an Easter egg per se, but it's a happy little coincidence. The only pins I had to reinforce these staying on, apart from just the glue, were butterfly. So Tigatron has got some butterflies in him, which I thought was quite apt. In fact, here is the clip of him with a butterfly. Hopefully these won't, you know, fly away. But I'm hoping, yeah, they should keep these on quite nicely. They're not exactly flush because of my ineptitude, but oh well. Welcome to the corner in which Tigatron lives and has been living for the past few months as bits of him get completed. I was just pausing. It has dawned on me. So once the elbow and knee pieces are done, all that remains is putting the stripes on here, one more thing for the helm, and then finishing, as in adding finish. I'm just like, I know. Ooh, sorry, there's one more thing I need to do. I need to reapply the sort of reddish thing on there. Easy enough. This is the biggest project I've ever done, like for anything, like build-wise, let alone cosplay. Yeah. It's been a real challenge. I'm a little anxious about actually going to the con because I'm going to boil, I just know it. But I am going to have such good fun, and without getting too sentimental or gushy, it's just exciting to be able to celebrate the 30 years that of Beast Wars, really. All of the fun I've ever had watching it and interacting with people in the community. Sorry, I am gushing now, but I just thought I'd pause before I get to the real final touches, and I'll carry on with the video now. Shut up. You may want to be part of the process of, yes, you too, Flynn, revealing his glory. We should start with the back. We may have to do some touch-ups, but hopefully not. Still one last thing to do. I'm sure some of you may have guessed what it is. We'll get to that. Oh, he's so pretty. You're pretty too, Flynn. Well, everyone, it is time for the final step. Now, you may have noticed that he's looking a bit dead-eyed, and so I have something for that. I have had this for about a year and a half now, but it was always meant to go on last, and it was always meant to be the pièce de résistance. Ooh! So this is one-way mirror foil film stuff. So you can't see through this way, but I can see through it. And I am quite excited for that to go in because it will complete the look. But I would like to try something, if you will indulge me. Lights. Now, I did consider buying some LED filament for this, but I want to try it with some regular wire lights first, because I don't know if it's going to be, it's definitely not going to be good for my eyes to have lights like right here, but I want to try and essentially come up with some goggle solution so I can create a sort of mask around my eyes to put the lights around, and so the eyes still light up. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do now. It's probably going to be quite fiddly, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the lights are not going to work for 3 reasons. First of all, I would go blind. I couldn't work out how to make the goggles for it. Second of all, it actually detracts from the mirror effect of the film. And third, it illuminates my eyes and you can see them, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the one-way mirror film anyway. And on that note... let's see how it looks from the inside. That is. I mean, oops, I have a visitor. Hello. Everything is tinted red, but I can see just fine. And that, dear viewers, is it for the build. All that is left now is to apply finish. And then he's finished. And then all that's left to do is put it all together. So from myself and Flynn, the supervisor, thank you very much for following along on this journey. If you're still here, well done for putting up with my nonsense, all of my mistakes, all of the working things out, and of course, seeing the completion of Tigatron. Wow. And that is Tigatron complete. Thank you to my beloved sister for filming and doing a nice photo shoot with me. She's now the second member of my family I've roped into this. Let's see if I can get my mum next. It looks pretty good overall. A few things to point out. The crotch plate needs to be hooked up a bit. So I'll see if I can figure out a way to kind of attach it to this bit. I need more stripes on the shorts because the back side looks a little bare. These need to come up, so I need to add some elastic to the shorts. Yes, I need to take frequent breaks because it is not as hot as it's going to be next week. But yes, thank you for following along on this journey. If you've stuck around this long, thank you very much. Feel free to do the YouTube thing if you feel so compelled. And see you at the con.